follow rules. I make my own rules, and so I don't know if I use the right brushes. Sometimes I don't even use brushes. I found some guys work good with your fingers, and whatever works. And sometimes I try something and it doesn't work, I fix it.
Christopher Villeneuve goes by Frenchy the Painter now. Frenchy, a nickname handed down from his grandfather, and Painter, a new vocation he has picked up in his 60s.
There was no plan to this thing. I just started painting, and then people, I painted for me, but then I just wanted to share with people.
The Danbury grandfather spent his early years as a truck driver and a single dad. His plate was full. For years, his only artistic outlet came from decorating his cabin on a hill.
If you look around, almost everything you see in here comes from a thrift shop, yard sale, estate sale, a couple of auctions. I like my furniture in my house to tell a story. If somebody walks into it, I think they get an idea about me. And I think that's what led to how I paint. So then I did my job. I raised my girls, and then they grew up, went out on their own, and then it was Frenchy time.
Inspired by a trip to an art gallery in Quebec and a tug to leave something lasting for his daughters and grandkids after losing a close friend, Frenchy the Painter was born.
So I was sitting there and I was telling everybody, I said, you know what? I'm going to be a painter. And everybody started laughing because I had never talked about painting. They thought my bag was yard sailing. And so I'm like, yeah, no, I'm gonna.
He went to Walmart, bought some acrylic paints, and started with Frenchy #1.
Frenchy #1, the very first one. And if it didn't come out as good as it did, it would have been the last one. So my chainsaw is busted, and I have a pull-me saw. And so me and Doug are cutting wood with the pull-me saw. And then there's all ledge behind my house. And the sun comes from this way to that way. And throughout the day, it makes all the rocks look like different faces. So if you notice, some of them actually look like faces. I thought people would say, oh, that looks lousy. But now people liked it. And they say, oh, I like your colors. And I like, oh, you can tell the story. So I did another one, and I did another one. And then probably after the 5th or 6th, a couple asked me to paint their sugar shack and their farm to commission me. But they said, I said, what do you want me to do? They said, make it Frenchy style. You gotta have a story, you gotta have color. And that's how I develop my style. People say, what style are you? Because some people would start out saying, so you're like a folk artist? And I'm like, yeah, I'm like a folk artist. And it kind of like bugged me because they said my people are kind of cartoony. Like, well, people are cartoons.
Along with people, familiar New Hampshire landmarks dot Frenchy's canvases.
So I painted the summer fair in Alexandria. And then somebody said, oh, you should paint something at Newfound. Oh, you should paint something at Sunapee. You should paint something at Wares Beach. This is number 45. It's a family outing to Sunapee Harbor. It features my fictional, typical family that I put in there, the Mitchells. And we got Pete and Carol, and then the kids, Cindy and Billy. Billy's always up to something or complaining about something in a lot of my paintings. I'll own up to that I'm a modern folk artist. I'll buy into that now. But when I started painting, 1 painting, 2 paintings, 3 paintings, then people say, oh, you're an artist. I'm like, no, I'm not an artist. I'm a picture painter.
Always trying new things and pushing his artistic limits, no two Frenchies are alike.
I made these paintings, War and Peace. And then they were meant to be a study. They were only 8 by 10. I wanted to see if I could do the same subject in 2 very different situations.
he also appears in a number of his works.
Most of those you can identify me because I'm wearing my green field jacket that I usually wear and my blue trapper hat.
Another telltale sign that it's a Frenchy work of art.
I don't like to paint people with two eyes. They get one eye. That's the Frenchy thing.
In less than a year, he has sold 9 paintings, many prints, taken commissions, even painted an album cover for a rock band. He says to anyone watching that it's never too late to try something new.
Last year, if you had asked me to paint a picture of you or a picture for you, I would have started laughing, and so yeah, no, just pick up a brush. I think it's pretty cool that I'm painting now and that people like my paintings, and I think it's pretty cool that you're here interviewing me. But what would be really cool is if 30, 40, 50 years down the road, whoever's doing Fritz Weatherby's job, comes in. I'm here in Danbury, New Hampshire, and there was a guy and he painted hundreds of paintings of scenes from all over the state, and they called him Frenchy the Painter. And then that would be cool.